Hi everyone, this is going to be a video tutorial on how to do a Spearman's row test in SPSS. So as usual, I'm going to be using the data from our tutorials in class, and so this is tutorial 9, and here we have three columns. The first column is our student identifier. In terms of using SPSS, we're not really that interested in that column, but we'll just leave it in there for the sake of it. What we are interested in are the second and third columns. So the second column is our final exam mark, and the third column is our mean study hours per week. And we want to see if there is a correlation between these two variables. If we increase our average hours of study per week, does that correspond to having an increased final exam mark? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go into SPSS. Now I'm going to open up this file in Excel, and it's going to come up with exam results, and we can go OK. Now, both the two variables that we're interested in need to be numeric, and they are, and they both need to be scale. So we've got final exam and mean study. To do a Spearman rows test in SPSS is very similar to how you would do a Pearson's correlation test. And if you look back at the lectures, you will remember that the Spearman row test is the non-parametric equivalent of the Pearson's correlation test. So in saying that, what we're going to do is go to Analyze. We're going to go to Correlate, and then we go to Bivariate. And it brings up this window. And remember, the two variables that we're interested in are the final exam mark, so that goes into the variables box, and the mean study hours per week. That also goes in. Here, when we look at correlation coefficients, we are not interested in Pearson this time, so we're going to uncheck the Pearson correlation. And then instead, we're going to check the Spearman one. When we click OK, this gives us our correlation coefficient, which is 0.985. So that is our test statistic, Spearman's row. It also gives us the sample size, which is 30. And it also gives us the p-value, which is 0.00. And again, that doesn't mean it's a value of 0. We have a p-value of 0, but it means that we have a very small p-value. And so it's a lot smaller than an alpha level of 0.05. And so therefore we would reject the null hypothesis and say that there is a correlation between mean study hours per week and final exam mark. So that's important to know, as you guys will be sitting an exam later on in the semester. So it looks like when you study more, you might get a better mark. Go figure. Okay, so that's a video tutorial on how to do a Spearman's row test in SPSS. I'm hoping that is helpful to you, and when it comes to completing your assignment, using the SPS program might be a bit easier.